Leute, herzlich willkommen zurück im Deutschunterricht. So, building on our first chapter now, we've looked at ich selbst, myself, which is a huge thing for our oral. Now we're going to look at meine Familie, okay, my family, describing our family. And by the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe your family members, express your opinion on siblings and your position in the family, discuss family relationships, and also talk about how you help out at home, okay? Now, meine Familie, obviously another big topic for your oral, another topic that the examiner might open with. Erzählen Sie mir ein bisschen von Ihrer Familie, tell me a little bit about your family. Another common question to introduce your oral. But this topic also comes up frequently on the written paper, okay? So at the end of this unit, I will go through where it's come up previously, but you'll see family actually comes up a good bit on der Brief, the letter in the written section of your paper as well, okay? And obviously, you know, like I always say with language, you're probably going to hear me say this a million times in all these classes, is with the language, everything kind of is related. So you might see stuff on family in reading comprehensions, in listenings, and then obviously in your written and oral work as well, okay? So first thing anyway with meine Familie is I start off every unit with vocabulary, okay? Wichtige Vokabeln, important vocabulary. It's really important that you go through this vocabulary. If you don't know it, you take note of it and you learn it, okay? I have this vocabulary here for a reason. It comes up a lot in different areas on the paper and it's very important for your own vocabulary, okay, at Leaving Cert. So with the first few chapters, you'll notice a lot of the terms might be revision from junior cycle, but then as we go on, it'll be a lot more new vocabulary and a lot more kind of complexer terms. So I'm going to go through this vocab here. If any of it is new, really important that you make note of it and you learn it, okay? Most important thing with a language, I always say, is learning your vocab. That's the main way that you will improve overall, okay? So, die Eltern, parents, der Elternteil dann is just one parent, like part of the parent. Die Geschwister, siblings, be careful with this one. It is not die Geschwister, okay? People often mix up Schwester, sister, and Geschwister, siblings. It's not. Geschwister isn't your sister, first of all, and it's not Geschwister, it's Geschwister, siblings, okay? Die Mutter is your mother, and then Mutti and Mama would be more colloquial, so your mom-like, okay? Der Vater would be father, and Vati and Papa then, again, kind of dad. Der Stiefvater is your stepdad, Stiefmutter, stepmother. Die Schwester, Schwestern, sister, sisters. Die Halbschwester, half-sister, half-sisters. Anything I have in brackets there in clamor, that is the plural form of it, okay? Die Stiefschwester dann is a stepsister. Der Bruder, Brüder with an Umlaut is our plural. So ich habe einen Bruder, ich habe zwei Brüder. So it's a little bit higher, okay, with our Umlaut, Brüder. Halbbruder is our half-brother und Stiefbruder dann is our stepbrother. Großeltern, grandparents, die Großmutter oder Oma is your grandmother or granny. Der Großvater, Opa, grandfather, granddad. Der cousins is your male cousin. Und die Cousine is your female cousin. You may also see that written with a K as well, which is just another way you can use it. If I could write properly on this. That's a K. Cousine, okay? Der Onkel is your uncle. Die Tante and das Enkelkind is a grandchild, and Enkelkinder would be, or Kinder would be your grandchildren. Enkel, grandson, Enkelin, granddaughter, Neffe, nephew, Nichte, niece. Der Sohn, son, die Tochter, daughter. You will see with all these terms as well. Do you notice how we're using der with the male people and die with the female people? Because remember, male people in German are masculine, so we use der. Female people are feminine, so we use die. Go back and look at my video on gender if you're unsure about that, okay? Really important. Der Familienmitglied would be a family member. Die Zwillinge, twins, das Einzelkind, only child, verheiratet, married. Die Beziehung oder das Verhältnis, relationship. Der Ehemann and die Ehefrau would be husband and wife, getrennt, separated, geschieden, divorced. Der oder die Verwandte is a relative, and we add on N there to create the plural. Das Mittelkind oder das Sandwichkind is like the middle child. Sandwichkind, that would be very colloquial there, okay? A nice little expressive word to add in if you're the middle child, if you want to talk about the middle child in your family, call them maybe das Sandwich-Kind. Der oder die Älteste is the eldest und der oder die Jüngste is the youngest, alright? Bit of vocab there. Now, common question you could be asked in your oral. Erzählen Sie mir von Ihrer Familie oder wie viele Personen gibt es in Ihrer Familie? Tell me about your family, how many people are there in your family, okay? So, ich habe eine ziemlich große oder kleine oder mittelgroße Familie. I have quite a big, small or medium-sized family. Es gibt however amount Personen in meiner Familie oder wir sind however amount of people in der Familie oder zu Hause is how you might express how many people are in your family, okay? Wir sind eine enge Familie, we're a close family und ich bin der oder die Älteste, der oder die Jüngste. You will use der if you're a boy, ich bin der Jüngste, ich bin der Älteste. If you're a girl, you will use die, ich bin die Älteste, ich bin die Jüngste. Ich bin in der Mitte der Familie, ich bin das Mittelkind oder ich bin das Sandwich-Kind if you're in the middle, okay? Ich habe keine Geschwister, ich bin ein Einzelkind. So if you have no siblings, I have no siblings, ich bin ein Einzelkind, I'm a single child. Oder if you have siblings, ich habe whatever amount of Geschwister, die whatever heißen. I have X amount of siblings called whatever. So zum Beispiel, ich habe 4 Geschwister, I have 4 siblings, die Tom, Mary und Sean heißen, okay? Ich habe einen Bruder, der whatever heißt. I have one brother called whoever. Oder ich habe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Brüder, die whatever heißen. I have 2, 3, 4, 5 whatever brothers who are called whatever. Mein Bruder heißt whatever oder meine Brüder heißen whatever. Another way of saying what your siblings are called. Ich habe 2, 3, 4 Schwestern. Oh, sorry, I skipped from there. Ich habe eine Schwester, die whatever heißt. I have one sister called whatever. Oder ich habe 2, 3, 4, 5 Schwestern, die whatever heißen. I have however many sisters called whatever. Oder meine Schwester heißt whatever. Meine Schwestern heißen whatever. So just a few different ways there of introducing your siblings. So if you're asked about your family, start off with maybe saying like if it's a big, small, medium-sized family, how many people are in your family, where are you in the family, and then go into your siblings. How many siblings do you have? How many brothers? How many sisters? What are they called? Okay. Then for each sibling, you should be able to briefly describe their name, their age, their personality, their position in the family, their appearance, maybe one or two other things about them. Now, you might not get an opportunity to say all of this, but you should have it prepared. The examiner might ask you specifically to describe a sibling, but like I said, you always just go into as much detail as possible. So if you start talking about your family, go straight into describing your siblings then when you start talking about them. Now, obviously, if you're an only child, you won't talk about that. You might just go into detail about your parents, okay? So these are just sentences to help you here, and you might have to go back to the notes that we just used on ich selbst, myself. You know, when we were describing Haare, Augen, Größe, other details, Persönlichkeit, personality. I had loads and loads of vocab there on describing personalities and experiences and appearances. So you might have to go back up there and have a look. But here I have some phrases to help you and the verbs, etc. And again, always referring back to your wichtige Phrasen and expressions, important phrases and expressions and idioms at the start of the page. You can add it in wherever you want, okay? So, oder sie, he or she has, oder sie hat, or you could add in their name here, like Maria hat, Sean hat, oder sie ist. So sorry, we will use hat, this phrase here, we use haben with Haare and Augen with our hair and eyes, okay? So he has whatever eyes, she has whatever hair and eyes. For height and personality then, Größe and Persönlichkeit, we will use the verb sein, ist. So oder sie ist, Sean ist, Maria ist. Tragen then we might use with other details as well. Remember with like glasses and stuff like that. Ich trage eine Brille. So trägt, sie trägt. Be careful with that verb there. It's irregular. Have a look at my video on the present tense irregular verbs if you need a little bit of a revision on that. We could say either mein jüngere oder mein ältere Bruder, my younger or older brother, oder meine jüngere oder ältere Schwester, my younger or older sister. Also, sorry here, I forgot to add in, when you're saying their age, okay, you're going to use this phrase as well. So this is also for their age. And again, you might have to go back up to revise numbers, okay? So make sure you know how to say their age. So oder sie ist whatever Jahre alt. So that's hair, eyes, height, personality, age. Now we might go into one or two things they are interested in or their hobbies or what they do, okay? Now, if you are mentioning what they are interested in, my tip here, oops, not that one, I want my highlighter. Oder sie interessiert sich für. If you have similar interests, I would add that here, okay? So say if he's interested in sport or like music or something, and then I have some phrases further down where you can add in like, you know, like myself, or we have the same interests. So if they are interested if you have similar interests, you could add that in here, okay? So oder sie interessiert sich für, he or she is interested in Sport, Musik, Lesen, Reiten, whatever it is. Oder sie besucht die Grundschule, they're attending primary school, oder sie besuchen die Grundschule. If you have more than one person, they are attending primary school. Oder sie besucht diese Schule, they attend this school, oder das Gymnasium, secondary school. Sie besuchen diese Schule oder das Gymnasium for more than one person, then they are. Meine Schwester oder mein Bruder studiert an der Uni in whatever. So if they're at university, my brother or sister studies at the university in Dublin zum Beispiel, und oder sie studiert, what are they studying? Okay, so studiert Biologie, sie studiert Jura. If they're working, what are they working as? Oder sie arbeitet als, he or she works as. And that's kind of everything with our siblings then. So you should be able to talk briefly about their name, their age, their position in the family, so who's the eldest, who's the youngest, und so weiter und so fort. And also kind of their interests and if they attend school. When you're saying who's the oldest and the youngest, so oops, wrong one. If you're saying who the youngest or the eldest is, because I don't think it's in my notes there, but you probably, if you're able to talk about it for yourself, you can probably guess. Ist der älteste oder jüngste oder das Sandwich-Kind or Mittelkind, okay? And then if it's she, if it's a girl, sie ist, die instead of der, okay? So just if you're saying their position in the family, der for boys, die for girls, and we use ist, he is, sie ist, she is. Parents then, same thing with your parents. For each parent, you should briefly be able to describe their name, their age, their personality, what they look like, what they do, briefly. Like I said, you might not get the opportunity to talk about all this, but I would again give as much detail as you can, and you might be asked to describe a parent, okay? So meine Eltern heißen, my parents are called, oder meine Mama oder Mutter heißt, my mother is called, mein Vater oder mein Papa heißt, my dad is called. And then you can use all the notes for above to talk about their personality, their appearance, their age, and what they do, okay? Now, moving on then, so once we've done that, also, sorry, if you're an only child, you might be asked, Sie sind ein Einzelkind, wie finden Sie das? You're an only child, how do you find that? Here I have some phrases. With everything, I would always have a minimum of 3 to 4 kind of phrases, okay, to reply, all right, minimum. So für mich, we're always giving as much detail as possible. Für mich persönlich gibt es Vorteile und Nachteile, ein Einzelkind zu sein. For me personally, there are advantages and disadvantages to being an only child. Meiner Meinung nach ist es toll, ein Einzelkind zu sein, so you could say there's advantages or disadvantages, you could focus on just advantages, just disadvantages, you like it or you dislike it, it's your opinion, okay? Deiner Meinung nach. Meiner Meinung nach ist es toll. In my opinion, it's great, ein Einzelkind zu sein, to be an only child. Meiner Meinung nach ist es ziemlich schlimm, ein Einzelkind zu sein. In my opinion, I think it's quite bad to be an only child. Ich habe mein eigenes Zimmer und viel Freiheit. I have my own room and lots of freedom. Ich muss meine Eltern nicht teilen. I don't have to share my parents. Es kann langweilig und ruhig sein, wenn meine Eltern nicht zu Hause sind. It can be boring and quiet when my parents aren't at home. Als Einzelkind is man oft alone. As an only child, one is often alone, okay? So just maybe a few phrases here to express your opinion on being an only child. You don't need this if you have siblings. It's just if you're an Einzelkind, an only child, okay? Now, next thing here, again, you don't need to wait for the examiner to ask you this. You can go straight into it. Kommen Sie gut mit Ihren Eltern oder Geschwistern aus? Verstehen Sie sich gut mit Ihren Eltern und Geschwistern aus? Both mean, do you get on with your parents and siblings? Worüber streiten Sie sich? What do you fight about? Okay? So, im Großen und Ganzen oder alles in allem, nice phrase to start it off, komme ich gut mit Ihnen aus? I get on well with them. Ich komme gut mit meinen Eltern oder meinen Geschwistern aus. Ich verstehe mich gut mit meinen Eltern und Geschwistern aus. I get on well with my parents and my siblings. Ich komme nicht gut mit meinen Eltern und Geschwistern aus. Ich verstehe mich nicht gut mit meinen Eltern und Geschwistern aus. We don't get on well. Okay? Es gibt manchmal Streit. Sometimes there are fights. Aber das kommt natürlich in jeder Familie vor. But that happens in every family. So that's a nice phrase there. Oder es gibt selten oder oft Argumente bei uns oder zu Hause. There's seldom or there's often arguments between us at home. Meine Schwester oder mein Bruder oder meine Mama nervt mich total. Whoever really annoys me. Okay? Nice idiomatic phrase here. Meine Schwester, mein Bruder, meine Mama geht mir auf die Nerven oder auf den Wecker. Oops. Auf den Wecker, they annoy me, okay? They get on my nerves. Ich habe ein gutes Verhältnis zu, I have a good relationship with, meinem Papa, meinen Brüder, meiner Schwester, meiner Mama. Ich kann fast alles mit meinen Eltern oder mit meinem Bruder oder mit meinen Geschwistern, whoever, besprechen. I can discuss almost everything with whoever. Sie haben immer ein offenes Ohr für mich oder er oder sie hat immer ein offenes Ohr für mich. So they're always there. An offenes Ohr is an open ear. So basically, they're always there for you, okay? And they're always listening to you. Wir sind sehr ähnlich und haben die gleichen Interessen, beispielsweise. Now, I would recommend bringing this in with either your siblings or parents and try linking in something that you're both interested in to lead the conversation. Because obviously if you say, wir sind sehr ähnlich, we're very similar und haben die gleichen Interessen, beispielsweise Sport. I would be, okay, great, next thing I would ask you then, machen Sie Sport, okay? Or whatever your interests are. And definitely add in this as well, if you're using that, wie der Spruch lautet, as the saying goes, der Apfel fällt nicht weit vom Baum, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, okay? Er oder sie ist immer verständnisvoll, tolerant und fair. So they're always understanding, tolerant, fair. So you can add in loads of other positive adjectives there. Maybe that's why you get on with them. Or you could add in negative adjectives and that's maybe why we don't get on with them. Sie sind streng und behandeln mich wie ein Kind. They're strict and treat me like a child. Wir streiten uns häufig. We frequently fight about. Oder ab und zu, now and again, we fight about Hausarbeit, Chores, Klamotten, Clothes, Fernsehen, das Internet, TV, the Internet. Again, this could be a way to lead the examiner. So if you say you're always talking or you're always fighting about Hausarbeit, housework, my next question would be, helfen Sie im Haushalt? Do you help out at home? If you say you fight about Fernsehen, TV, I would say, sehen Sie gern fern? Was ist Ihre Lieblingssendung? What's your favorite program? Wir streiten uns über Klamotten. Okay, kaufen Sie gerne ein? Do you like shopping? So always be aware of that, the little clues that you can lead for the examiner, but also maybe how one conversation could lead into another, okay? Es nervt mich wenn, it annoys me when, and put the verb at the end there for using that one. Es ärgert mich wenn is kind of, it makes me angry or annoys me kind of as well when. Meine Mama oder mein Papa, that should say mein Papa, not meine, mein Papa. Meine Mama oder mein Papa schimpft oder ärgert sich wenn. My mom or my dad give out or get angry or get annoyed when. Here's some examples. Wenn ich schlechte Noten bekomme, when I get bad grades, wenn ich spät nach Hause komme, when I come home late, wenn mein Zimmer unordentlich ist, if my room is untidy. Aber wir vergeben und vergessen immer, but we always forgive and forget. That's a nice phrase there. Ich würde sie viel vermissen, wenn ich nächstes Jahr an die Uni gehe. Now, that is a link there. If you said this, next question I would ask you is, that is linked to Zukunftspläne und nach dem Abitur, after the Leaving Cert and future plans. So if you said that to me, I would say, was möchten Sie nach dem Abitur machen? What would you like to do after the Leaving Cert? Wo möchten Sie gehen? Where would you like to go? Wo möchten Sie studieren? Where would you like to study? So that's a link there to Zukunftspläne und nach dem Abitur. Again, always trying to lead the conversation with our oral, okay? Fast da, almost there. Gibt es Vorteile oder Nachteile, der Älteste, der Jüngste oder das Mittelkind zu sein? So wherever you say you are in the family, you could be asked, are there advantages or disadvantages to that? And again, we're always giving as much information as possible. So if I was you, just go straight into that if you have the chance, okay? If you're talking about where you are in the family, you could go straight into that. So meiner Ansicht nach, in my view, gibt es sowohl Vorteile als auch Nachteile. There are advantages and disadvantages. So Vorteile, some advantages then, meine Eltern sind nicht so streng mit mir. So this could be you could say these advantages or disadvantages for whether you're the eldest, youngest or the middle child. Es kommt darauf an, depends. Meine Eltern sind nicht so streng mit mir. My parents aren't as strict with me. Streng is not strong, it's strict. Stark is strong, streng is strict. Sie haben eine Faible für mich. They have a soft spot for me, weil ich der oder die jüngste, älteste oder das Sandwichkind bin. Because I'm the oldest, youngest or the middle child. Ich bin ein bisschen verwöhnt. I'm a little bit spoiled. Ich habe viel Freiheit, I have lots of freedom. Ich bekomme mehr Taschengeld als meine Geschwister. I get more pocket money. That would be a link there to talking about pocket money maybe and what you do with your money, okay? Ich darf später ins Bett gehen. I'm allowed to go to bed later. Sie behandeln mich wie ein Erwachsener. They treat me like an adult. Sie geben mir viel Freiheit, Vertrauen und Verantwortung. They give me lots of freedom, trust and responsibility. Then Nachteile. Again, you can use a mixture of these or just focus on one or the other. Ich trage viel Verantwortung, so I carry or I have lots of responsibility. Ich muss immer auf meine Geschwister aufpassen. I also have to look after my siblings. Meine Eltern behandeln mich wie ein Baby oder wie ein Kind. They treat me like a baby, they treat me like a child. Ich muss viel im Haushalt mithelfen. I need to help out lots at home. Again, that would be a link there to Hausarbeit. Meine Eltern setzen mich unter Druck. My parents put me under pressure. Ich habe weniger Freiheit. I have less freedom. Oder meine Eltern verlangen zu viel von mir. They expect too much of me. Okay? Finden Sie es gut, Geschwister zu haben? So if you have siblings, then you might get this question. Ohne Zweifel finde ich es gut, Geschwister zu haben. Without a doubt, I find it good to have siblings. Or you could take the opposite angle to say you don't find it good as well. I have a few answers late kind of further on here about that. I think it's probably easier to say you like having siblings. It's better to have them, personally. Ich wäre sehr einsam ohne sie und ich bin nie allein. I would be very lonely without them and I'm never alone. Man fühlt sich nie allein. Either you could say one is never alone. Es gibt immer jemanden, der ein offenes Ohr für dich hat. There's always someone with an open ear for you or someone there for you or someone to talk to. Sie stehen hinter mir, they stand behind me. Oder oder sie steht hinter mir. He or she stands behind me or they always stand up for me, kind of, they're always with me. Sie können mir mit meinen Schulsachen, Hausaufgaben helfen. They can help me with my school stuff, my homework. Ich hätte mehr Freiheit oder mehr Taschengeld oder mehr Ruhe ohne sie. If you maybe want to take the side that you think it's bad to have siblings, I would have more freedom, pocket money or peace without them or quiet without them. Es ist oft schwer, Ruhe und Frieden im Haus zu finden. It's often hard to find peace and quiet in the house. Oder meine Geschwister gehen mir total auf den Wecker. They really annoy me. Again, this auf den Wecker, nice colloquial phrase there, auf den Wecker. Okay? Do you find it good to have siblings? Last question here with this chapter, for your oral specifically. Helfen Sie im Haushalt oder bei Hausarbeit? Do you help out at home or with the housework? Okay, just a few things you do maybe at home. I would say maybe 4 or 5 points here. So say how often you help. First of all, ich helfe ab und zu, now and again, regelmäßig, regularly, oft, often, nicht oft, not often, jeden Tag, every day, jedes Wochenende, every weekend, nie, never, selten, seldomly im Haushalt. And then ich helfe im Haushalt nur wenn ich muss, only when I have to. And then give me maybe 4 or 5 things that you do. Ich putze mein Zimmer, das Badezimmer, die Küche, I clean my room, the bathroom, the kitchen. Ich wasche die Wäsche, wash clothes, ich hänge die Wäsche auf, hang out clothes. This is all basic enough revision stuff, but it's just something you could be asked, so I just have it in here. So just have a few points on it. Ich bügle, I iron, ich bringe den Müll raus, I bring out the rubbish, ich decke den Tisch, set the table, ich mache mein Bett, I make my bed, ich koche das Abendessen, cook the dinner, ich räume ab, I tidy up, ich räume die Spülmaschine aus oder ein, aus, empty it, ein, fill it. Ich sauge Staub, I hoover, ich staube ab, I dust, ich wasche ab, I wash up, ich trockne ab, I dry up, ich wische, I mop, ich gehe mit dem Hund Gassi, I walk the dog. That is colloquial. Gassi gehen, okay? That is a colloquial phrase there. Ich gehe mit dem Hund Gassi, I bring the dog for a walk. Ich mache das Einkaufen, I do the shopping, okay? So, that is kind of everything there on Meine, Familie and ich, alright? Again, huge oral topic, but I'm going to show you here that it has also come up very frequently on the written paper, specifically in the brief, okay? So it's come up 3 times in quite recent years actually on the lecture, okay? And now later on, we will look specifically at letter writing, how to answer a letter properly, some H1 standard letters, but I'm just going to go through this paragraph here. We're going to dissect it together, and then if you some good practice for you now after doing your notes on Familie, if you wanted to test yourself, would be maybe having a go at one of these paragraphs and again referring back to your wichtige Phrasen, to your important phrases throughout. So, heute hätte ich gern mal so richtig lange geschlafen, aber meine kleine Schwester hat mich 8 Uhr geweckt. So this is from the 2021 letter, okay? So today I really wanted to kind of sleep longer, but my little sister woke me up at 8 o'clock. Am Sonntag 8, on Sunday at 8. Wie sieht dein Sonntag normalerweise aus? How does your normal Sunday look? Hast du auch Geschwister oder Freunde, die dich nerven? Do you also have siblings or friends that annoy you? Was nervt dich am meisten? What annoys you the most? Und was machst du, wenn sie dich ärgern? What do you do when they annoy you? Okay, so that was the letter that came up in 2021. So again, a little bit here kind of about your maybe hobbies and your free time, present tense, how does your normal Sunday look? And then we're going into more about your family, okay? So do your siblings annoy you? What annoys you the most and how do you deal with that, okay? 2019, meine Freundin Miele hat gerade Stress mit ihren Eltern. My friend Miele has a lot of stress with her parents, or like at the moment she's a lot of stress with her parents. Sie war am Samstag bis 2 Uhr nachts in der Disco. So she was, on Saturday, she was kind of in the nightclub or in the disco until 2 in the morning or 2 in the night. Miele's Eltern finden das skandalös. They find that scandalous. Haben sie recht? Are they right? So are they right to find that scandalous? Warum meinst du das? Why do you think that? Wie reagieren deine Eltern, wenn du zu spät nach Hause kommst? How would your parents react if you were to come home too late? Und was hast du letztes Wochenende gemacht? What did you do last weekend? So testing your past tense here. That's something we look at in hobbies, and of course when we do our perfect past tense as well. So that was maybe a little bit trickier. Giving your opinion on kind of Miele's parents being strict and giving out. And then how would your parents react and what did you do last weekend? That was 2019. Und 2016 dann, meine Freundin Jasmin hat großen Stress zu Hause, weil ihre Eltern 3.000 Euro Strafe zahlen müssen. So my friend Jasmine has like big stress at home because her parents have to pay a 3,000 Euro fine, okay? Sie hat mit einem File-Sharing-Programm Musik aus dem Internet heruntergeladen und für andere Benutzer ins Netz gesteckt. Und das war leider illegal, okay? So she's illegally after downloading this file-sharing program for music. And du machst sowas bestimmt nicht, oder? You would never do that, would you? So downloading music kind of illegally. Wie würden deine Eltern reagieren, wenn sie 3.000 Euro für dich bezahlen müssten? How would your parents react if they had to pay 3,000 Euro for you? Hast du schon mal richtigen Ärger mit deinen Eltern gehabt? Warum? Have you ever had like real kind of stress or anger or fights kind of with your parents? Warum? Why? So a little bit there about fighting with your parents, and again, how would your parents react? So you'll notice with the letters, again, we're going to do a class solely directed on letters. A lot of the time you're giving your opinion and your tips. So in my wichtige Phrasen, in my important phrases, I have loads and loads of ways to help you answer that, okay? With minimum vocabulary, alright? So that's just to show you a little bit of where it's come up previously on the exam paper. Das ist alles mit meiner Familie und ich, okay, that chapter. Hoffentlich hat das geholfen und wir sehen uns dann im nächsten Unterricht.